guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. I just filmed this look and I'm exhausted. It must be up on my channel already. If you haven't watched it, I will link it up here or here and you can take a look at it. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about brands that I will not review or try on my channel or showcase on my channel. I saw a bunch of people doing these kind of videos and I really wanted to do it. I think I saw Robert Welch do this and I really resonated with him on some of the brands or some of the reasons why he wouldn't review or wouldn't feature those brands on his channel, and I wanted to do my own version of this one. So some of these brands I have used before, I will mention as we go along. These brands, I'm okay to try them, but I'm not going to actively review them because they just don't interest me, I guess. I'm in no way trying to offend anyone. If you love these brands, then that's great for you, but in my opinion, I just do not like them. It just means that I'm just a little bit underwhelmed by some of these brands. Okay, let's just get started. The first brand that I want to talk about is Lakme. I don't know where to start. Okay, so Lakme is a very old Indian brand. I think it was the face of makeup in India, right? I mean, that's what we grew up on. It's the brand that I saw my cousins growing up on, my aunts and my other people that I knew. My mom was not into makeup, so I never saw it at home, but I saw other people wearing it. My first introduction to makeup, I remember there was this compact powder that was available when I was probably in 6th or 7th standard. That was the first makeup product that I ever saw or had, and I had one of them. I think my mom bought it for me later on because I was into extracurricular activities to be on stage and all of that, and I bought one of those or whatever it was called, compact powder, and I had that in the shade Coral. Okay, natural coral, that's what it was called. And I remember we used to go to the streets of General Bazaar looking for it to buy it. It was a very famous store. We used to go there and we used to buy everything for wholesale. I mean, natural coral was the only shade that was suitable for me, and even that one was very light. Also used the Lakme CC cream for quite some time actually, but then Lakme CC cream is just like Fair and Lovely, but it's just that it's a little tinted. And it took me a while to realize that those are not great products, that are not working for me, that's not in my shade. I mean, I didn't even know what that meant, that I didn't even know it. So for me, it all started with when I started going to work. That's when it all started, and I think that's the first time I actually bought a foundation. I think it was Maybelline, or I don't even remember, but I still had the Lakme CC cream I don't even know, in the darkest shade in number 3 or something, which was so light for me, and I would still use the Lakme compact powder. But now I think later, I think since 2014, the makeup industry in India has skyrocketed, and like everything is so accessible right now, with Nykaa coming in, bringing all of the brands, making everything accessible, with so many stores opening up, storefronts here. So Lakme, now that there are so many brands and there's so much competition, I feel like they are not doing their best. They have great potential to tap into, but they're not doing it. They're just not understanding the pulse of the people. They're not understanding that people are much more literate about cosmetics and much more literate about makeup, much more aware about what they actually want, and Lakme doesn't have it. So I personally was also a fan of their Lakme Absolute matte lipsticks. Some of the shades were amazing. I think they had really good products, really good iconic products, which they did not take advantage of. Like, just imagine if they had that compact powder in like a broad range, right? Like about 8 colors or 8 shades or something. It would have been such a big deal, but they did not. They do keep coming out with more products, but everything is compromised. The quality is compromised, the thought behind it is compromised. So Lakme is a brand that just doesn't work for me, and I will not review. Actually, I haven't used any Lakme product since except for the eyeliner. I don't know if I have it, the Absolute eyeliner, the one that comes in the black box, not the Lakme Insta liner, the other one, the Absolute one. I had it with me until the last declutter video. I'll link it up here. I threw it away the last time because it was expired, so that's the only thing. I love their eyeliners, great affordable options, but as a whole, as a brand, I would not use Lakme products. The next brand that I'm going to talk about might raise a lot of eyebrows, but it is Colorbar. Now, don't come at me, but this brand seems to be revolutionary. I actually have just one product from Colorbar. Now, this brand I know is very well loved by a lot of YouTubers, by a lot of self-acclaimed beauty bloggers, but then I think they are the ones who recently released their foundation in 30 shades. I mean, that is really commendable, but for me, the reason I do not use them is if you keenly look at all of their products and observe them, each and every product will remind you of something else, some other product and some other iconic product. So I feel like Colorbar is a brand that rips off packaging of different brands. They're not even trying to rip off one brand, they're trying to rip off iconic product packaging from different brands. Like, I think one of their primer looks just like Nykaa's primer. Some of their products look just like Charlotte Tilbury products. Do look them up and compare them with the other products. If you actually know the original products, you will recognize that, oh my god, this looks so similar to that. So I do not have a problem. I mean, everybody can take inspiration. You know, there's a lot of business that goes on behind packaging and all of that. But if you're going to rip someone off, at least stick to someone, at least stick to some aesthetic, right? You can't be ripping off everything. Like one of their eyeliner looks like a MAC eyeliner. One of their bronzing palette looks like Charlotte Tilbury. One of their lipsticks looks like Maybelline lipstick. It just disappoints me. Even if their products are good, I probably will not attempt to try them. The only product that I've used is the blue eyeliner. But I remember previously, I think about 4 to 5 years ago, Colorbar used to make really good brushes. I still do have some of them. And they used to be very reasonable, especially eye brushes. I think, I'm not too sure, but back then I was not so much into brushes, so I was kind of impressed. I don't know how I would like them now. I don't even know if they make brushes anymore, but eyeliner is the only product that I've used, and for me personally, I will not probably try their products because there's just too much of a ripoff, I feel. So Colorbar is one brand that I am not going to be reviewing on this channel, or I'm not going to be trying out their products either. The next brand that I'm going to be talking about is also a very well loved brand. I used to love it personally before, but I don't anymore. It's Sugar Cosmetics. Now Sugar Cosmetics is quite a revolutionary brand in India. I mean, after Lakme and all of that, the next gen, right? I think these products were, what, 2010? I think that's when they launched, 2011. I remember back in the day, I was subscribed to the subscription bag called Fab Bag. One of the Sugar products in one of these bags, and that is the first time I tried their products. Back then, I really loved them. They are quite revolutionary, but for me, I absolutely love their I Want You So eyeliner. I would still use it. I would still recommend it. It is the best. It is amazing. I haven't repurchased it recently, but I absolutely love it. But then it's a brand that I have evolved over. You know, I don't see myself going back to them. And I love their eyeshadow palettes. I love their Ace of Base foundation. That's the only foundation I've used. I've not used a lot of their base products, but I have used their eyeshadows, and their eyeliner is one of my favorites. But then again, as a whole, I would not go back to that brand because I've evolved past it. It just doesn't impress me anymore. It just doesn't appeal to me anymore. I think their recent launches were so tacky. The Wonder Woman launch was so tacky. I don't know. I mean, The packaging was so tacky, the look of it was so tacky. Why would you want to have an eyeshadow palette that's so huge, so impractical, and the pans are so tiny? There's another brand that I'm going to be talking about who did something similar also, but then it was so tacky, and they're just going overboard, and I feel like they overdo their PR. That's exactly how I feel. They overdo their PR, and they shove it in your face so people buy their product. Their packaging does not appeal to me. Again, like I said, I think if I was younger, if I was 24, 25, I would still use it. It's a good brand, it's a revolutionary brand, they're doing some really good things. But then if I was 24, 25, I would still use it. But I've evolved past that brand, and I've evolved past the aesthetic or the offerings that the brand has to give. It's not my cup of tea anymore. Next brand I'm going to be talking about is Faces Canada. First of all, I don't like any brand that has the name of a place suffixed to it. I don't know why. Maybelline New York. I just don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me. Faces Canada was taken over by an Indian company, but they retained the name. And also their products are not made in Canada. It's just the parent company was from Canada, and then somebody from India took over, and their products are made in other European countries like Germany, etc. All the brands that I spoke about till now, I have used at least one product from them, but Faces Canada is a brand I have not used any product from, and I don't think I will use it. Actually, I've not heard a lot of YouTubers or a lot of bloggers talk about it, so I don't think they push their PR too much, which is good. They're very subtle with it, I think, but they are there are some campaigns that I've seen, but they're very subtle with it, and I think that's okay. But personally, it's not a brand that that I would try. I would give it a pass. The next brand that I want to talk about is going to be debatable. This was also brought up by Robert Welch, but it is Morphe. Now, Morphe is a great brand. They make great brushes. They make some great products as well. But Morphe eyeshadows are something that I will not use. I bought one of my first Morphe eyeshadow palettes in London. It was the holiday edition or something. It had some really nice pastel shades, and you know what, I was looking back at the video and I just realized that I kept saying pastel, and pastel is the right pronunciation. For some reason, I never ever looked up the pronunciation for that, and I stand corrected. I'm so sorry. The eyeshadow palette had a lot of really fun colors, but it had such horrible kickback and such a horrible payoff, and it would just patch on my eyelids. If you have dry skin, then it's death for you, literally. It would just add so many patches on my eyelids. I just couldn't work with it. It had so much of kickback. I absolutely love their brushes. I have their whole set here. I love their brushes. They're really nice, affordable options for brushes. They have different brushes for different purposes, and yeah, but then not their eyeshadow. They have horrible kickback, and they also stain your eyelids. Like, no matter how much of micellar water you use, how much of double cleanse you do, they still stain your eyelids, which is horrible. But I have used another product from Morphe. One is their highlighter palette, which is great, and also their contour palette. It was called Brontour or something like that, which I broke, and I was very sad when it broke. That was a great product. It had one contour side to it and one bronzing shimmery side to it. Absolutely love it. So some of the products are great, but I would not recommend their eyeshadows. I mean, the mass production of their eyeshadows is just sad, and their collaborations are something that I dislike the most, like the Jaclyn Hill, the James Charles. I mean, it's just too much of an overload, too much. After all of that controversy with James Charles, they're still collaborating with him. I was actually reading about it recently, and I was like, actually the whole controversy goes back to the same thing, that somebody that owns Jeffree Star or somebody that has a big share in Jeffree Star Cosmetics has actually a big share in Morphe, but then Morphe got taken over by someone else, all of that jazz. So there's too much of controversy involved with people collaborating with Morphe. So I don't like the brand. I will not review them, except for their brushes. Absolutely love their brushes. Another thing that I noticed about Morphe is the amount of resellers selling these products on Amazon and Flipkart is just crazy. Like, just go to Amazon and key in Morphe James Charles, and you will see eyeshadow palettes for about 250 rupees, and people are buying this stuff and using them, maybe just to practice or whatever, but they are fake. And just the enormity of it is just like why are these so popular when they're not even so good? So Morphe is a brand that I would recommend for affordable brushes, but I will not be reviewing their products or anything on my channel. I will not be using any of their products. I will not be buying any of their other products except for their brushes, especially not their eyeshadows. Definitely not. So Morphe is something that a brand that I do not recommend for eyeshadows. The next thing that I want to talk about is not one single brand, but any brand that's heavily marketed. You click on any YouTube video, it's sponsored by them. You click on anything, they first start off with that product. You go watch a vlog, they're talking about that product. Hold it there, like just go slow a little bit. I think I'm talking about products like Mama Earth, Wow Skin Science, and what's the other brand? McAfee. First brand that I want to talk about in this category is Mama Earth. I always found them so shady. I think back in 2018 I did purchase some of their products. I think I did purchase one of their onion oil or onion hair mask or something, and one of their charcoal masks, which I absolutely hated. I just threw it away after the first use. And another night repair cream or something, like night repair blemish cream or something, because at that point I actually was struggling with a lot of blemishes, and it has a god awful smell. All the products have god awful scent to them, just horrible. I just could not stand them. I'm okay with no scent, but if it's gonna smell bad, I'm not gonna put it on my face. I did not use their products at all. I always found the brand too shady for whatever reasons. Because there were so many people just raving about it, and it was just too much out there. I just did not like them. The other brand is Wow Skin Science. I mean, who names their own brand Wow? Even before you've made a product, you have to call it Wow, whether it's Wow or not. So there's just so many people promoting the products, and they just look so, first of all, in India we have such low quality standards. I feel I've not read up so much on it, but I know that compared to any European country or anything, the standards in India are very, very relaxed. So I don't know, Wow Skin Science just looks so shady. Brand in this category is McAfee scrubs. Like, I will not put coffee on my face no matter what. I will not. I don't know why. I just do not like it. And I see so many people promoting the products, and it just doesn't appeal to me. I think the newest addition to this is the Nutridome, or is the brand called Dermaweave. Is the brand called Dermaweave, and they have a product called Nutridome Cleanser or Nutridome Moisturizer, and they have two products that everybody keeps promoting. It's the Dermaweave Cleanser and the Nutridome Moisturizer. I think just everyone, absolutely every YouTuber I've heard talk about it, and it feels shady. I don't know why. Is it true that when everybody talks about it, it has to be a little weird? But I have no idea. But it is something that I will not try. You will not see me using products from Mama Earth. You will not see me using products from Wow Skin Science. You will not see me using products from McAfee or Nutridome Dermaweave. What I want to talk about is Makeup Revolution. Makeup Revolution is a brand that I have tried a bunch of products from. I have tried their stick foundations, which were really nice. I liked them while they lasted. I actually decluttered one of them in my declutter video. I think as a brand, they started off really well. A brand, right? So when I went to UK, I saw them on the aisles of every drugstore. Literally, I mean, at Boots UK, you just walk in there and you just see Makeup Revolution everywhere. When it came to India, I feel like the quality was very compromised. That's exactly how I felt. I had one eyeshadow palette from them, which I actually decluttered. I got it for about 1300 rupees. It was a great palette in terms of shades and everything, but then it was too drying. The consistency, the way it blended on my eyelids, I just did not like it. They've been pushing out product after product, pushing so much into the market. Even before a customer can actually register that product in their head, there's a new product out there. They also came out with skincare, which was a complete rip-off of The Ordinary, but that's a topic for another day. But I mean, I don't know, just too many products lined up, and nothing that's worth mentioning or worth using. It's like music, right? Like there's so much of music, but only some music actually just stays in your head. It was just like that for me. One of their recent launches that I wanted to try out was their soap brows. I think they came out with that, which is not available in India. Of course, it's available on Cult Beauty, but I never purchased it. It is a very affordable alternative for the soap brows or for the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow freeze, all of that. So I really wanted to try that out. They also came out with so many collaborations, like the Friends collab. I mean, of course, people still love it. I still do have fridge magnets from Friends on my fridge, but it's so old. I mean, have you seen those palettes? They just look so god awful. Like, I don't mind collectibles, but then the palettes didn't seem worthy to be collectibles, is what I felt. They were just like, who uses those pans? Who uses such big palettes? I just don't know. It was just so tacky. I can't seem to find another word. It just seems so overly done, I feel. But there was one coffee mug that was there. I really liked that. And they also promoted their Friends lineup so much. I saw so many YouTubers abroad promoting it, so many Instagram creators just talking about it. They received it in PR, because obviously nobody was going to buy them. It's not, I mean, there was no thought put into it. They just combined two concepts and just put them together, and that's it. There was no thought gone beyond it, is what I feel. I don't think I will be looking forward to any new releases from that brand. Maybe I'm just too old for these brands. Just let me know if that's true. Definitely Sugar, I know I evolved past that brand. I feel like my choice of products has become much more evolved. I like, because I'm maturing, my skin is maturing, I like to use products that are tried and tested, brands that are tried and tested, brands that are suitable for my skin and suitable for my ideologies. I think so, if that makes sense. So yeah, so Makeup Revolution is not something that I would try in the future. The next brand that I want to talk about is a skincare brand, and it is Dot & Key. Obviously, this one had to make it to this list because I have tried just one of their products, and that was their vitamin C. That was the only time I ever tried an active. The other active that I use on my skin is just glycolic acid in the form of Pixie Glow Tonic, and even that I just use it twice a week. That's it. I do not use any other actives on my skin. The vitamin C from Dot & Key is the only one. It was so fragrant, and I don't know if it did much to my skin. It did not brighten my face or anything, apart from the fact that Dot & Key has ripped off a Korean brand called Frudia. Is that how it's pronounced? I'm not too sure, but there's a lot of dialogue around that. But then again, ripping off packaging is something that is done everywhere. I'm not in any way saying that it's justified. It's not, but there's only so much some people can do, so there's only so much some brands can do, and they do it. And yeah, and now because everything is so accessible, we are aware that there's another brand that has a similar packaging. Like say for example the Dear Dahlia brand, which existed quite some time back, and it's a brand from Korea. They also had very similar packaging like the Fenty packaging, which is all of the octagon shapes, and they had this marble finish to their products. And when the brand in itself was not very popular, but of course Fenty became popular instantly because of Rihanna's social presence and her social capital. And she kept, I mean, she doesn't do music anymore, she just does makeup. I mean, do you associate Rihanna with music? I don't. I just think about Rihanna and I think about Fenty. So when Fenty became popular, and then Dear Dahlia became popular because they tried to amp up their social media game, they became popular, and then everybody was like, oh, it's a ripoff of Fenty, but actually it wasn't. You know, both of them existed without, you know, both not knowing each other. We cannot really say who ripped off whom, but then, you know, that's how things work, and I'm not in any way justifying ripping off or justifying copying someone's ideas, but then it's the industry, that's how it works. So yeah, that is one brand that I do not like, Dot & Key. I'm not gonna be using, and I'm not a very big skincare fanatic. I think the few things that I use work for me and I'm good with it. If in the future I am, then maybe I will have more brands to add to this list, but Dot & Key is something that I will not try anymore. I have two more to add to this list, not two more, I have one set of brands. What are these brands? Swiss Beauty, NYB and Blue Heaven. I'm not in any way saying that you should not use inexpensive products, but what is it with using tacky products? I would not use this. Or probably I'm like I said again, if I'm so much more evolved in makeup, I will not probably go back and use them. But we want to be customers who are aware, you know, so much. People are so woke about you know, the ingredients in skincare, and they want to talk about everything. But why are we compromising on makeup? I mean, just because I feel like I don't know, but I feel like whenever people receive these in PR and they talk about them in favor of them, which is why they become popular. The problem I have is, for me personally, I started wearing makeup when I was what, 25, 26 at least, right? So the problem I have is that when such inexpensive makeup is available to young girls, they start makeup early, right? So for me, I never started makeup because it was inaccessible, I couldn't afford it. But when such inexpensive makeup is made available to girls, young girls, they're gonna put it on their face, and you know, when you're 17 or 18, your skin, or even younger, I've seen younger girls use such makeup, and just because it's inexpensive and it's readily available for you, you're going to be using it, and bloggers are going to be you know, promoting them, and these girls are going to be using them, and they're going to be damaging their skin by the time they're 23, 24. Even skincare for that matter, if you're 18, you do not need a skin peel, you do not need an AHA, BHA exfoliant, you do not, you just use your face wash, moisturizer, sunscreen, and you're good. That's it. And if you're younger than that, then just moisturize your face, that's it. So my problem with these brands is that you know, we don't know if what they're claiming is right, if we don't know what kind of products these are. I guess personally I will not be using them, definitely. I think this video is about brands that I will not review, so these are brands that I will not use at all, because I'm way past that age. These are brands that don't appeal to me. I think NYB, Swiss Beauty, and Swiss Beauty is just again another ripoff of everything that's available, like Stila, or you know, their eyeshadows are a ripoff of Sigma, everything. I mean, I'm never going to be using them. NYB, and NYB, why would you name a brand NYB when it says New York Bay, when it's actually an Indian brand? Like, why? And another brand was Blue Heaven. Like, I will not be using those products. The last brand that I am going to be talking about is again going to raise a lot of eyebrows. It is Pac Cosmetics. I literally have just two brushes from them. One is their foundation brush and one is their fan brush. I feel like their base range is too warm, too orangey. Every foundation looks orange to me. Their packaging is compromised. Yeah, just the brand doesn't appeal to me. I think they make really good brushes. I really love their brushes. They're very affordable. I would recommend for beginners to try out their brushes. They're really nice. But on the whole, their packaging, the print wears off. So it's just very underwhelming as a brand. Their foundations look too warm, too orangey for my liking. Their concealers look too thick. I would never use it. I've also heard a lot of people saying that Pac Cosmetics foundation is a very good dupe for MAC Studio Fix. I haven't tried that, but I do not think so. I'm not too sure. If I've tried it, then I'll let you know, but I don't think I will be trying it. And as a brand on the whole, I don't understand what their goal is. Like, you know, they make great brushes, they also want to make other great products, but there is no consistency. They just are there. They're just like, oh, okay, we have a brand, let's do more things. That's how I feel about the brand, and it is a brand that I will not personally be trying out. And I've stopped even purchasing their brushes. I have just one brush from them, this Pac what is this called, the fan brush. I use this for my lower lash mascara. So those are all the brands that I will not be using or reviewing on my channel. I hope this video was fun. I hope I spilled some tea on some of these brands. If you do like it, then do give it a thumbs up. So let me know what are some of the brands that you do not like, you find shady, or you will never use, or you've grown out of. So yeah, that's all for this video. I will see you guys in another video pretty soon. Bye.